Now let's get a first look at your local alert weather forecast with Eric Oren. Good morning, Eric.
Good morning, everybody. It's Friday, and that means I'm dancing. We have a crazy day ahead of us. We do have some potential rain, and we have a cool day as well. Now, it is not going to be a great day for the gardeners. However, your gardens are probably going to love it. We may get some precipitation, a little rainfall, and we've been very dry, so that's definitely welcome news. In terms of air quality, here's where we're looking today and tomorrow, actually. We're moderate for the most part today, and we actually may see some improvement tomorrow as well with some actual good air quality. Haven't seen that for a while, and we're certainly very excited to hear it. Cool and showery today, as I mentioned, so do bring a raincoat around with you as you move throughout the day. And that air quality will continue to improve, as I mentioned, so that's some good news for you. We all need good news on a Friday. And it's Loosen Your Tie Friday, so make sure and have a good day. That TGIF energy is here to stay. We'll have a longer look at weather coming up later. Right now, let's go back to the desk.
Bend police have ruled the death of a Bend woman found injured on 2nd Street not a result of a crime. Jerry Lynn Davies had been staying at a shelter nearby and had been asked to leave for 24 hours after arguing with another resident. Monday morning, she was found injured and unconscious on 2nd Street and later died in a hospital.
Initially, Bend PD had described the death as suspicious, but today said no criminal activity was involved. Investigators are waiting on a final report from the state medical examiner before a cause of death is released.
Deschutes County Commissioners will meet next month to possibly expand the board from 3 to 5 seats.
Blake Mayfield spoke with commissioners about the process and who gets to decide.
Basically only 2 or 2.5 perspectives on a body that represents 200,000 people is not enough.
Deschutes County Commissioners will meet in September to discuss letting voters decide whether the board should expand to 5 positions. Since 1971, there have been 3 commissioners.
We only have 3, and it seems like we do need to keep building on our population in order to add more commissioners.
At the September meeting, commissioners will consider adding a ballot measure to the May 2024 election.
Many counties that have 5 commissioners have part-time commissioners. So one thing that we could consider as part of this process is going from 3 full-time to maybe 4 part-time and 1 full-time chair.
As Commissioners Adair and DeBone are paid more than $125,000 a year by the county, Chang is paid just a little over $111,000. Commissioner Chang declined his raise earlier this year, but did choose to accept a 4% cost of living adjustment for his salary. He believes an expansion of the board would not be too costly for the county.
If we had zoned or districted seats, then each commissioner would only be responsible for being in touch with and representing a portion of the population of Deschutes County.
The board currently has a conservative majority, with Commissioners DeBone and Adair holding their seats as Republicans. With Chang being the lone Democrat, there's the potential a board expansion could flip the political majority.
And you know, there are actually a lot of NAVs in the county, more actually than registered Republicans and Democrats at this time. So it could be someone from that middle position, honestly.
People try to pigeonhole us and they say, well, Adair and DeBone are the conservatives and Chang is the liberal on the Board of Commissioners. But, you know, for example, on land use issues, I'm the conservative one.
We reached out to Commission Board Chair Tony DeBone for comment, but did not hear back. The Commissioners' Workshop meeting is Monday, September 18th. The public is allowed to attend the workshop, but because it's not a public hearing, no public comments will be allowed. Blake Mayfield, News Channel 21.
This morning we're asking, should county commissioners be expanded from 3 to 5? To weigh in, head over to our web poll on the KTVZ.com homepage. The city of La Pine is fast-growing. It's a fast-growing part of Central Oregon, and it could get even bigger.
Kelsey McGee tells us about a new proposed development.
It just means potentially new opportunities for people to shop at, shall we say, companies or businesses that are at this time not currently present in the community.
La Pine City Manager says the city was contacted earlier this summer by Dickerhoof Properties. The group expressed interest in potentially developing some new commercial properties. It would include a Starbucks, AutoZone, and Walgreens. In just the last year, 6 new businesses have come to the growing town.
Intended location for the Starbucks, where the existing Chamber of Commerce building is, which is shared with a florist. The florist has already moved out. and the Chamber of Commerce is moving to a location across Highway 97. And again, it's my understanding that the interest is to put the AutoZone there. Those are both on the west side of Highway 97.
And the possible Walgreens would be placed where Coach's used to be. La Pine's Chamber of Commerce's executive director says the downside to moving is potentially losing a historical building. This is the La Pine Chamber of Commerce's new location, and they're set to leave their old location by the end of September.
The fact that more corporate-style businesses are coming in is probably not ideal, but we don't want to discourage business either.
The city manager says the city has spoken briefly with the Dickerhoof Properties and a representative from Ryan Cross Group, an engineering and surveying company.
I don't want us to be perceived as anti-business. You know, that's why we exist, and we love representing the businesses in our town, all of them, large and small.
The groups would need to complete the site plan applications in order to move forward with their request. Kelsey McGee, News Channel 21.
A new forecast shows state revenue is 2% higher than expected, which may mean a tax credit for you. The results jumpstart Oregon's unique kicker law. A record-setting $5.6 billion will be distributed among Oregon taxpayers next year. The median Oregonian will see about a $980 tax credit. For people making six figures, it'll be even higher, maybe as much as $10,000, if not more. The credits are the highest Oregonians have ever seen.
Coming up, as Maui residents try to rebuild, many are questioning the response from officials.
And a Sisters High School graduate returns to the place that grew her passion. We found out why she came back and how she plans to inspire the community. It's 8 minutes past the hour. You're watching News Channel 21 at sunrise.
Do you have debris or residue buildup in your drain line? Or something lodged in your pipes? Clogged drains are a common plumbing problem that Central Oregon Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing fixes. If you've tried to solve the issue on your own, but your drains are still clogged, it's time to call us, the professional drain cleaning experts. We even have same-day appointments available.
Central Oregon Heating and Cooling.
In plumbing,
we like what we do, and you will too.
When you're out and about, News Channel 21 and Deschutes Roofing and Insulation invite you to share your life's pictures with us. Show us what living the Central Oregon lifestyle is all about. We want to see you out boarding, riding, hiking, exploring, wherever life takes you. Snap it, post it, and then share it with News Channel 21, and your photo may get featured on our newscast. Find the Share tab at ktvz.com and share your out and about photos today.
Looking for a job in Central Oregon? Simply Fabricated is hiring a lead steel fabricator, and it could be the perfect fit for you. Requirements include work experience as a metal fabricator and finish detailer, the ability to operate different types of fabrication equipment, and the ability to interpret technical drawings and instructions. If you are a hardworking and detail-oriented individual, a team player, and complex problem solver, we are looking for you. We offer a high pay rate depending on experience with room to grow. To apply, email your resume to cody@simfab.co.
News Channel 21 is brought to you in part by Central Oregon Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing.
The official death toll from the Hawaii wildfire stands at 115, with hundreds of people still unaccounted for.
There are questions about the response or lack thereof, who's to blame, and when survivors and businesses can start to rebuild. Natasha Chen reports.
It's hard to take in, seeing all this devastation.
Even as Lahaina fire survivors take stock of what's left of their historic community.
Make me cry. Make me cry.
Officials are trying to identify the bodies of those lost, but it is a mystery at the moment how many are still missing. Right now, they're investigating about 100 missing person reports.
I'm like, oh, okay, today's going to be a good day. I'm not going to cry. You hug the first person, and that's all you want to do is cry.
Kalaya Asuela says her Lahaina home is still standing, but has no idea what condition it's in. She's with her family in temporary housing, not living, she says, just existing.
I don't want to be angry, and I don't want to be upset, but nothing's moving.
The number of dead stands at 115, a number that hasn't moved in 10 days. Active search and rescue is over as federal agencies are now working to remove hazardous materials and debris to make it safe for families to return to their neighborhoods. Most Lahaina students have to either enroll at other schools on the island or take virtual classes at least until mid-October. The entire survival and recovery process has surfaced long-held skepticism and resentment toward outside authority, which many locals have historically blamed for mismanaging the land and water.
I directed my team to do everything we can for as long as it takes to help Maui recover, rebuild in a way that respects and honors Hawaiian traditions and cultures and the needs of the local community. We're not going to turn this into a new land grab.
But who has he talked to? You know, who has he really sat down with and said, what is it going to take?
Asuela questions whether this tragedy could have been prevented. Residents in the county of Maui are suing Hawaiian Electric, accusing the utility of not properly maintaining power lines that remained energized leading up to August 8th. The company says a downed power line in Lahaina seems to have sparked flames that morning, but says the cause of a fire that afternoon is still unknown. And while sirens have not previously been used for wildfires on Maui, new protocols will soon be shared.
As we go forward, we need to educate the public on what do they need to do when a siren sounds. And that includes our visitor population that will be unfamiliar as well.
Visitors who are currently avoiding Maui. The Hawaii Tourism Authority says they're losing $9 million each day, with a steep drop in daily passenger arrivals to the island. And local businesses are laying off employees.
We've had people cancel their reservations all the way through December of this year.
Air Maui has laid off 7 dispatchers. Its 7 pilots used to fly more than 24 trips a day. Now they take turns making 1 or 2 flights a day. While island residents want tourists to stay away from burned areas, they need people to come visit the rest of Maui.
Most people who live on Maui have 2 jobs to sustain themselves, so they're not going to be able to survive and pay their bills and their home mortgages on unemployment insurance. It just won't cut it.
Coming out, Mount Bachelor raffled off its Skyliner Express chairs. We'll tell you how one resident who didn't win still got his hands on one.
And look for more shower activity throughout the day with some cloud cover and continued cool temperatures regionally. Our air quality has improved quite a bit thanks to some much needed precipitation, and you can expect more spotty conditions on the way. We'll have a longer look at your weather after the break.
At Mountain View Heating, we believe that for the longevity and health of your heating and cooling system, quality does matter. One size does not fit all, and this assumption can cost you in utility bills or in overtaxing your system. We are dedicated to finding you the right solutions, maintenance plan, and heating and cooling system for your needs. To improve your home energy performance, call Mountain View Heating, the company that cares about you.
Central Oregon Tree Experts is hiring. We're searching for new and experienced arborists who love trees as much as we do. Full-time, full benefits, competitive pay, and training available. Call Central Oregon Tree Experts to apply.
Is your local nonprofit in need of children's toys this holiday season? The News Channel 21 Les Schwab Tire Center's Toy Drive can help.
Last year, we donated thousands of toys to 14 nonprofits across Deschutes, Jefferson, and Crook County.
Help us make this year bigger and better so that we can continue to spread cheer to children in need in our communities.
Go to ktvz.com/toy drive to learn more and nominate a local nonprofit today.
Join us for the annual News Channel 21 Les Schwab Tire Center's Toy Drive.
From the moment Central Oregon Tree Experts arrive, we treat your property like it was our own. We do it all: tree trimming, removal, stump grinding, and general tree care. Give us a call today or visit us online for a free consultation.
Inside the NFL is coming to the CW. The show the pros watch is now for everyone. Inside the NFL, season premiere Tuesday, September 5th on the CW.
Now, Central Oregon's local alert weather with Eric Oren.
Happy Friday, everybody. I've got to do another Friday dance. I can't stop. It's TGIF. Here we are taking a look at Mount Bachelor. Now, we do have some cloud cover, not a great view. That's because we should see some precipitation today, and we definitely need it. So do bring a raincoat with you if you head out and around town today. It should also be a fairly cool day as well, so keep that in mind. Let's take a look at your garden forecast, shall we? It may not be a good day for the gardener, but your gardens are going to love it. We do plan on getting some precipitation, so those late summer blooms are going to be happy come tonight. Hopefully we'll get a little bit of measurable rainfall. Like I mentioned to you, it's going to be a fairly cool day today as well. We should warm up a little bit going into the weekend, but in general, that cool pattern is here to stay. So, some weather headlines to keep in mind. Cool and showery conditions here. It's going to be on and off today and even tomorrow as well. And we do plan to see some improving air quality. We're already in the moderate range, which is an improvement from where we've been, and we think it's going to get even better. And it's Loosen Your Tie Friday. I already did a little dance. Now I'm loosening the tie. I can't help it. It's TGIF. And we also have a big picture to look at today. And right now, there's a low pressure system as of last night that moved down into this area. And today, it's going to sag down here into the part of northern California and send some precipitation up into our area. And tomorrow should be similar situation. It's going to kind of stick in place and keep us in a rainy pattern, at least through the afternoon tomorrow. Now, here's where the precipitation currently is in the state. You can see for the most part, it's to the east of us with some cloud cover and some potential precipitation already developing here over central Oregon, and more is on the way. Here's when that rain should potentially come for us. Now here is around 5 o'clock. Now it's looking like it's going to be a little bit to our southwest, but throughout the day we'll see some scattered patches of rain showers in the area. Now in the air quality, we are looking pretty moderate today. Now that's been an improvement from where we've been, and it should continue to get a little better as we look at this smoke forecast here today. Our area does continue to have a bit of a blanket of smoke, but that concentration is a whole lot lighter, especially as we get into Saturday. You can see here by around 1 o'clock on Saturday, we're clearing up pretty significantly, and that's going to be reflected in our 2-day smoke forecast as well. So today, fairly moderate, and then as you can see, tomorrow, we may actually have some actually good air quality in the area, and that's definitely cause for celebration. Now, highs in the area today are in the 60s and 70s, 64 degrees out of Bend, 66 there out of Redmond, and just a little bit cooler out of Sun River with 64 degrees. Our overnight lows are going to stick in this region for the next couple of days in the 40s and 50s, a little bit cooler there out of La Pine. They've been fairly chilly over the last couple of nights. So as mentioned to you, if you are gardeners or planters out that way, it might be time to start covering those crops. You want to keep them blooming late into the year. Now let's take a peek at this 7-day forecast, shall we? So we do have a pretty strong chance of some showers today and tomorrow as well. Despite the fact that we'll warm up a little bit, those afternoon showers should still be headed our way. Sunday going to be on and off chance for some storms as well before things dry off a little bit on Monday for that Labor Day holiday. Some sunny conditions on Tuesday as well before cloud cover coming back early next week. Those temperatures are going to raise a little bit as of early next week as well, but we don't expect to see them get too much warmer than that. That's been just a quick look at your local alert weather. I'm Eric Oren.